Hey, Killer Nacho, I challenge you to a Royal Roulette battle. Make it a roulette and you have a deal. Okay, I will defeat you.
Go Killer Nacho! Go Killer Nacho!
Hey guys, here's a roulette with Wilechase, the emo man from YouTube, and normally roulettes hate me. Let's see if my luck can get any better against Wilechase here today. So I lead with a porygon-z, and he leads with a shuckle, so that's not too good for me, so I decided to switch out, and I go into Empoleon. That gets him get a free knockoff on it, and that knocks away my Pitaya Berry. I'm going to try to set up, but he makes the good play and encores me, and that means I'm locked into agility, so I have to switch again. So I go out into Jirachi now, and he's going to switch as well and go out into Celebi, so I decide to go for the trick, hoping that this isn't like a Scarf Celebi as well, so it ends up being a leftover, so that's pretty nice, and he's just going to go for the T-Wave, so he gets the Paralyze off of my Jirachi, which kind of sucks. But I know he either has to switch or just, T-Wave again, so I decided to set up the Stealth Rocks. He was trying to T-Wave, predicting my switch, and now I'm just going to go for the Fire Punch, which was super effective against Celebi, but instead I end up getting it on the cast form. So I like the amount of damage that did. I think I can live a Flamethrower from a cast form, and then I can hopefully KO with Iron Head, because I thought that I might be able to, see how much Fire Punch did, but I end up not quite KOing, and that kind of made me sad. And now I'm going to switch into Blaziken to take the Flamethrower, because, fire resist fire. So, actually, in Pokemon, it's not a good thing to fight fire with fire, so that saying is kind of wrong. But I'm just going to finish off the cast form with Thunder Punch, and that's pretty cool, so the cast form goes down. So, he goes out back into Shuckle, and obviously I'm not going to be able to do too much with Thunder Punch to Shuckle, and this is a Scarf Blaziken, so I was locked into it. So I go out into Jirachi, not knowing what he's going to do, but figuring Jirachi should be able to wall the Shuckle pretty well. And he sets up the Stealth Rocks, which is kind of annoying, and I'm just going to Iron Head now. And even though I'm paralyzed, Shuckle is so damn slow that I still outspeed the Shuckle, and that's pretty awesome. So I'm just going to go for the Iron Head again, maybe to get another Flinch Lovin' from my Serene Grace. But instead he goes out into Masquerain, which, randomly has Intimidate. I guess it makes sense, but man, who uses this is the first time I've ever seen Masquerain on Wi-Fi. But because of his Intimidate, I'm actually not able to quite KO his Masquerain with Iron Head. And I don't really know what he's going to do, so I decide just to keep in Jirachi, and he goes for a Bug Buzz, and that'll take me out because he has a Life Orb on that thing. Interesting. So I go out in Altaria pretty much because I don't think he can do a whole lot to me with Masquerain, and I decide to set up a Dragon Dance. But he goes for the Stun Spore, which kind of sucks because that paralyzes me, and now I'm not as fast as I could have been. And I just try to finish off with the Dragon Claw here. I probably should have just done something else. He ends up getting a crit with Bug Buzz, and he kills himself with Life Orb, so that didn't turn out too well for me. That crit was kind of annoying, I'm not gonna lie. So now Altair is pretty darn weak, and he goes into a Ledean, so, man, I'm actually getting pretty lucky this time, because my opponent is now getting crappy things, and I'm actually getting, well, decent things. So he goes for the Aerial Ace, and he doesn't quite kill me, because Ledean's attack is kind of pathetic, even with that Life Orb, and I just finished it off with Dragon Claw, so he got a friggin' Masquerain and a Ledean. That sucks for him. But now, the game kind of rewards him with something that's actually really, really good, and that's this Tyranitar, who's Choice Scarfed, which is annoying, and he's going to crunch me, and that'll take down Altaria. So I go out into Blaziken, because my Blaziken is also Scarfed, and obviously Blaziken is faster than Tyranitar, so I decide just to go for the Superpower on the switch, and he goes out into Celebi, and my Superpower isn't going to be able to do a whole lot to that, obviously. So I have to switch now because I'm locked in Superpower. So I decide to go out into Quagsire, hoping that he'd T-Wave again. And, of course, Quagsire is a ground type, so T-Wave won't affect me. And that's really cool because he does try to go for the T-Wave. So now I'm just going to... I don't even know. I'm going to Toxic, figuring that it'll hit anything. That's what I do. I go for the Toxic just because I figure it'll hit anything. He goes into Shuckle, and I'm just kind of hoping the Shuckle doesn't have Rest, because that would just be just painfully annoying. So I decide just to go for the Earthquake, hoping that I might be able to kill it, but the Shuckle does live, and he goes for a Toxic of his own to get a Toxic off on Quagsire. And then my Toxic doesn't even finish off the Shuckle, which made me kind of sad, but, I'll be able to finish off next turn at least with Earthquake, so... what can you do? So I decided to just go for the Earthquake here, and that's going to take out the Shuckle, and now he's going to go out into Celebi. And I was kind of fearing that he might have the Grass Knot, but I decided just to stay in, knowing that if I play this game safe, I know I have the win anyway. So he goes into Celebi, and he's actually going to go for the Leech Seed, but he ends up missing his first Leech Seed, which really sucks for him, because I have Ice Beam on this Quagsire, so I just go for that, and it's super effective, and is going to be a 2-hit KO at this point, which is cool. He doesn't miss the second Leech Seed, but it doesn't really matter too much because, well, it just doesn't. Because he's going to die to my Ice Beam anyway, so I just go for the Ice Beam, finish off the Celebi, and now his only poke he has left is Tyranitar, which is really good for me because I have a Scarf Blaziken, and I also even have a Scarf Porygon-z with Hidden Power Fighting, for the record, but, so that's pretty nice for me. I pretty much have this game won now, so I'm just going to go for the Toxic. I could have gone for the Earthquake, it doesn't really matter. I went for the Toxic, just because I guess if some reason Blaziken and Porygon-z fail me, he won't be able to stay around for too long, just because eventually the Toxic Poison will finish him. But that's how the game goes. Quagsire is going to die to the Leech Seed plus the Toxic Poisoning, so I'm just going to go into Blaziken for the win. So, good game, Wilechase. You got some lulz Pokemon with Masquerain and Ledian, but it was still a lot of fun. Roulettes always are. I'll definitely give you a rematch with a different battle type soon. But great game. Make sure you check him out. He's an awesome YouTube battler. Leave the link in the description. Rate, comment, subscribe, guys, and I'll see you next time. Alright, peace. Bye. Alright guys, so last question of the day. I asked you guys to come up with your own question of the day that I could use today. Unfortunately, nearly all of you have already said question of the days I've already done. But one that I did kind of like is, what is your favorite negative effect item? Let me just see real fast who the heck made that one. That's Celtic Guardian 7, so thank you, Celtic Guardian 7. So, usually you'd use a negative effect item if you want to trick or switcheroo it onto an opponent. This can be something like a Toxic Orb, a Flame Orb, a Lagging Tail, a Choice item, anything. What is your favorite negative effect item that you mainly use to trick onto an opponent? Leave a comment about that, and, yeah, rate, comment, subscribe, and see you guys next time. Alright, peace out, dudes.